Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Saturday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Illman along with Keith Fustel. We've got 9 on tap today. You were on the mark with your analysis in the feature race yesterday. Tiaslia Pastina guiding on the mark to an upset victory over some really nice horses, getting the better of odds-on Haley's First Notion right at the shadow of the wire.
Right at the wire. We thought getting back to a fast track was going to be the key. And Thais did a really nice job. Got this horse to relax. Caught in between horses, leaving the 3/8 fall that kind of emerged as the closest pursuer of those, in battle leaders. Worked outward. A little bit of a drift, but was able to sustain, and we got that good price. I think, about a $22 payout with a 91 buyer, the preliminary buyer for On the Mark. Really good effort. The Rod Dog, Dave Robin, had some good selections yesterday. Join him. I mean, he's good. Everybody's doing a lot of work here, and I think providing some very good information. And don't forget to get onto the website as well. You got Billy Humphries with those trip notes. Lots of good stuff. All the analysis that you give. Like I say, nobody goes deeper into the races than this guy right here.
But it's a whole team effort, and everybody has their niche. LaurelPark.com/picks is where you need to go. Free handicapping guide, and when you go on the homepage, you get free daily racing form DRP past performances. So we're giving it away here at Laurel Park. We want you to win. We're the Players Track. There's also a little race going on in New York later this evening, I guess. It's the Belmont Stakes. It's the Derby winner against the Preakness winner. We have our rooting interests. We have our sort of rooting against. And we're going against both of them.
Yes, we are. I'm leaning Baeza. I thought he ran, when you really go back and look at it, might have been the best race in the Derby. A little freshened up. I think he has positional speed. Obviously, the breeding is there, bottom side. Let's talk about that one, but I think he can get it done today.
My only concern is that every single person I've talked to over the last 6 or 7 days is on the Baeza train. He is the ultimate wise guy horse, and there's only been one wise Dan in this business, and that was a horse of the year a while back. No one's ever accused me of being a wise Dan, but I'm with you. I think Baeza had a kind of a sneaky trip in the Derby and ran on late. He showed he could handle a wet track that day. It is going to be a wet track there. It's not a wet track here as we take a look at our weather conditions for our 9-race card. Listen, it's cool. We survived a little bit of rain earlier today. It's going to be hazy and humid later, but right now it's a very pleasant 73 degrees. The main track is fast. The turf is firm.
Turf is firm. Playing pretty honestly is the turf and the main track, and we'll let you kind of know if we see anything interesting. We'll relay it down to our host in the afternoon, but all in all, I thought the surfaces played pretty fair.
Here's the field for race number 1 of our 9-race program on Belmont Stakes Saturday. 1.1/16 on the turf. It's a maiden claimer for 3 and up, 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds eligible for the $20,000 tag. Take out the number 11, Christmas Spirit. This is the first leg of our first of 2. 12% takeout, value pick 5s. Low takeout, great wager. Great way to maximize your profit potential with that low takeout, and you have a ticket for us. You had one last week, and it paid great.
It paid handsomely. Yeah, I think it was like over 9. So see if we can get this today. It's a $32 ticket. Again, these sequences are challenging, so if you need to kind of grab a friend and throw a couple bucks together and maybe enhance this ticket, go right ahead. 3-9 to get you started. Gladstone, what a night. Here for Suzanne Satenius, the blinkers off. I think that's going to be a key for the 9. What a night. Race 2. 2-year-olds on display. Scratch the 4, Heat Check, and the 7, the Rizzler's Girl. I ended up on the 2 and the 3, Zimba. Those were the days for Jerry Robb and the X-Man. A spread here in race number 3. 1, 7, 8, 10. I leave out a price horse that you were talking about yesterday, the 9. Recognize me? Are you still on that one?
Still on them.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you want to add that mare to the ticket, I tell you, she will really enhance the payout in this early value pick 5. Race 4 with the 2 and the 6. Let's finish things up with the 1 and the 8, Milliot and Lil Regard. We've got a video of that Brittany Russell running from back at Colonial last summer. There's your ticket. It's a $32 play, 12% low takeout, early value pick 5. Dive in.
We both share the same top selection in race number 1, one of your 2 horses in the early pick 5. That's the 9, What a Night. Suzanne Satenius, you mentioned the blinkers off, could be a very key angle.
Yeah, I think the best race he ever ran in his career was that second out with the blinkers off, weighted quarter, checked and blocked, finished up. A top buyer for this runner. Been wanting to kind of get back to the turf the last couple tries, been rained off. Still ran credibly, I thought, at Delaware last time out. But the key is there's some speed in here. You've got from the rail, and D. Hopper will go. A couple of these other ones want to be fairly forward. RJ, Gladstone, the blinkers come off. I think he may not be as keyed up on the drop, but oh, what a night. Getting back to that maybe better race on the go back will bring this horse a little bit better finish and be able to get by late.
Oh, What a Night was wired in his most recent turf start. It was a very slow-paced race, so he had an excuse that day, and he also had an excuse in that it was his first race off a 190-day layoff. I thought he still tried hard all the way down to the wire. You mentioned the other pace in here. There should be speed to set him up, and I think he and the 7 Storm Force are the best closers, so we'll see Oh, What a Night, I think, making a pretty strong stretch kick. But I will say, I think the 3 Gladstone is the horse to beat for Ruiz and Jane Sabelli.
Yeah, the first race at Gulfstream going back late February was pretty good. Trouble multiple times during the race with an okay finish last time out. I wanted this horse to be forward with the blinkers. I thought it was a fairly paceless race. Forrest tried, took a little bit more pressure. We see that happen sometimes. People get a little anxious. Oh, there's no speed. They all go ahead and send. Ended up fading a little bit. No fault at all with the ride. The blinkers come back off. We'll get you a G. Ruiz today. I think, you know, again, you're going to see this horse take back a little bit further with the horse, like just to the inside. D. Hopper is going to be going ahead and going in. RJ just to his outside. So Gladstone, the drop could be key here as well, along with that blinkers off.
Drop is huge, blinkers off. Wonder if we'll see a shadow roll in the paddock today, because last time out he tried to sneak away through a third quarter in 24, and it looked like he hopped some tire tracks in mid-stretch while he was already beaten. I think this horse will sit. He showed that in his debut. And again, the class drop, the speed figures, a lot of things work here for the number 3 Gladstone. Let's talk about D. Hopper breaking from the rail. He got wired going 5/8 of a mile last time out. But again, breaking inside, stretching out 3.5 furlongs with this horse's early speed, this horse is getting to the front unless RJ is just on a dead scent.
Bottom side, the mare broke the maiden going a mile on the turf. Canthero's top side, they can stretch the speed on any kind of surface. Took unusual play, took a lot of play last time. Had some trouble 2 races back, dropped a little bit. I did not think that play was going to be there. Down to 5-1. Was in it a long, long way. Any chance to relax? And Thais Lampasina, we know, we've seen her. We saw it was evident yesterday with On the Mark. She can get horses to relax and finish. I would not leave this horse out of my exactest tries and supers.
A horse that I want to use underneath is the 7 Storm Force for Kelly Rubley. Daniel Centeno had 2 winners yesterday on the turf. Storm Force was just wired in a slow-paced race against Baby Oscar, who just walked a second quarter mile in, 25 and change. Storm Force kind of clipped heels after the start, was far, far back, and he just couldn't make up the late ground. If you think there's going to be a little bit more pace, I think this one's going to come running at the end. He's yet to hit the board. I'm not saying he's going to win. I just want one on the board finish out of him.
I'm going to toss in the 6 Great Artist. Went back and watched that rerun again today. The finish was better than maybe what I gave it credit for earlier at Pimlico. I thought the gallop out was fine. Bottom side, there is route there within that breeding. A little bit later on, your analysis was hoping, I guess, the races come off. That horse can go long. I just a user underneath for me with Caramanos.
We have the same 9-3-1 triple. You've got the 6 in the 4th spot. I've got the 7. Race number 2, 5 furlongs. It's a maiden claimer for 2-year-olds. 25 down to 20. Maryland breds eligible for the 30. Take out the 4, Heat Check. Take out the 7, the Rizzler's Girl. This is the first leg of the first of 3 50-cent pick 4 wagers we have on the afternoon. And we're both going to go with a Jerry Robb 2-year-old in here, the number 3, Those Were the Days. It was nice to see Romeo, who won so impressively here, finish a good 3rd up in New York in a stakes race. And Those Were the Days is by a very promising young sire that's done very, very well with first-time starters thus far.
19% with the 2-year-old first-time starters. I just, I'm going to trust in Jerry Robb here. $2,000 purchase, laying in for 30. A little bit of a protect move for me. The mare was on race first foal. I think this horse is going to be prepped enough with the X-Man. This horse, he was the choice over the 4 who scratched.
Speed on both sides. The Dam's a half to a stakes place dirt sprinter that won the debut. Another sibling of the Dam was Take a Hint, a stakes winning date sprinter, earned a 90 buyer. The second Dam was a stakes winning dirt sprinter, won the debut, earned a 96 buyer. So a lot of speed on the bottom of the family. The sire gets precocious horses. I'm expecting a good effort from the 3. Those Were the Days. Let's talk about Zimba for Joanne Shankel. A half to a horse that Joanne Joanne had some good luck with.
Yeah, I know I chased the Long River, and he's still winless with the 2-year-old first-time starters, 0 for 19 not too long ago. But, yeah, half to a stakes winner, Kissed by an Angel. Pretty nice mare, or filly, I should say. Yeah, just going to take a shot again. That stat, boy, that hits hard. 0 for 19, maybe. Sooner or later, we can get one over the top for Long River with the 2-year-olds.
But Kissed by an Angel was a precocious horse, won the career debut, and was a stakes-winning dirt sprinter.
Yeah.
The 5 is No More Calls, going out for Kevin Boniface. This one is by Kobe's Back. A little bit of pedigree here, but I wonder if this horse is going to eventually want more distance. A half the Feeling Woozy, who was a stakes-placed dirt miler with a big 96 Spires speed figure. The Damsa Hatch, the Beach View, who I think won the Cougar, the 2 stakes at like 1 3/4 miles out at Del Mar. So class in the pedigree, but maybe distance.
Right, 3 starters. None of them hit the board first time out. Maybe a little bit longer. Again, tab the board a little bit. That Feeling Woozy. Feeling Woozy had some speed, though. Can stretch it. 6, Baby Bobby. Fortune Ticket. New. Not a whole lot to go on there. Bottom side, Mary was a winner. 6 for 26. First foal. Kieran keeps this one in. Question mark again with the 1. Dance and Danae will look to the inside. 2 for, I should say the mare was really good. 10-time winner. First Monday's 2 for 10 with the 2-year-old first-time starters. 2 sibs, though, combined. 0 for 7, trying to pick things up on that bottom side.
We'll see if Jerry Robb will be smiling after race number 2. Those were the days. You're going 3, 2, 1, and 6. I'm going 3, 5, 2. And 6. Race number 3 is at 1 mile on the turf. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of 8 or less in their last 3 starts, or a claiming range from $12,005 down to 10. Take out the 1A part of the entry, Loving Cup, the 11 Hot Bottom Girl, the 12 Queen of the Dance, the 13 Luella Street. I want to start with a video spotlight after we talk about the first leg of the second of 3 50-cent pick 4 wagers this afternoon here at beautiful Laurel Park. Don't Tell Darren has always been a very solid horse, whether it be on dirt or turf. I like her better on turf, and here she is on turf.
Yeah, this is a race. We're going to go back a little bit to November the 9th at 24, and against a pretty salty field. She is Whiskey. We know how good she was, and then she came back in very good form off the claim, but gets in a little trouble right around the 3/8 pole. I might have just missed that, but anyhow, is going to work outside, about 5 wide, turning for home. Does Don't Tell Darren. You're going to see those sound up picker cap shifted off of heels as well. Cost the momentum. Not going to catch She Is Whiskey, but a good finish to the final 3/16 of a mile to go up and nab Red Win for the place. That one came back to win. We know what She Is Whiskey has done. Yeah, she fits and ran well in the comeback try at Pimlico over that muddy sealed surface.
And Kieran's been on a roll, second after 61 to 120-day layoffs, 11 for the last 35, 31%, a positive ROI. The race we just saw produced 4 next out winners, and you're right about the trouble. This horse steadied, entered the turn, had to come to the outside, and it's got a ton of back class. Didn't win, I think she won one of the Maryland Million starter races back in 2023. So Don't Tell Darren also has speed, and I think that's key in here. There's not a lot of gas in this race.
No, I think the road may go through the 1, Major Houlihan. This is a horse that's run some pretty good races up on the front end on the turf course. That one possibly next episode. The 3, that's a horse that Dave Robin likes. We saw horses coming off the turf form yesterday. Coach's meeting for Silliman get it done. I'm going to lean around the 8, Don't Tell Darren. The 7, Ballycuda, just likes a horse that, you can kind of trust to pick up a piece. I thought it came back and ran quite well last time out.
You're very consistent. Ballycuda ran well. We saw Kerry Bryan, Daniel Centeno win the finale yesterday on the turf. I'm going to go with the price for the 9, Recognize Me. This horse has not been seen in a while, was entered on September the 21st here, was scratched, and is now returning off of a lengthy layoff. I like the fact that these connections are taking the blinkers off. This horse won 3 times earlier in her career without blinkers, and I thought the last race at Colonial was pretty good, where she had to kind of alter course all the way to the outside, off heels in mid-stretch, finished well. The gallop out was there. The runner-up came back to win here, I believe, with a 66 Spires speed figure. I think without the blinkers, it's interesting. Earlier in her career, showed a little bit of speed, especially in a gate-to-wire gambit in an off-turf race at Pimlico. So maybe Weston Hamilton can keep Recognize Me a little bit close. She's going to be a big price. I'm going with a stab. I do realize Don't Tell Darren's dangerous.
And my pick should be 8, 7, 10, 1. I must have been into it a little bit early this morning, given how 2-1, 8, 4.
It's not rosé at the rail
no,
just yet.
I wasn't into the rosé, but yeah, I must have been into something. But thanks, guys. 8, 7, 10, 1.
How about Go-Go Chanel?
For me. Yeah, Go-Go Chanel. Wow. A good race last time out back at Monmouth. That had a perfect trip.
Absolutely.
Is she going to be able to get that this afternoon? I know one thing, second off the claim over the last couple of years on the turf for Mike Pino. 5 for 10, 764 ROI. And here's another stat that you've got.
Last out winners, 41%, $2.16 ROI. Pino's just having a remarkable year, 35% winners. Go-Go Chanel was claimed, was freshened, but you're right. This horse was able to, and Paco Lopez did a great job just procuring the loose pocket down the backstretch, getting to the inside, then got out at just the right time, and Go-Go Chanel did the best. Maybe this horse is tactical enough to kind of follow Don't Tell Darren out there and tuck in, but is not going to be able to save ground, I don't think, like she did last time. She's very dangerous with these connections. I don't know if I want to take too short a price.
Right, that is the key. But I do think she can work out a trip, and she can make a run from further back if necessary. We've seen her run some big races over this turf course. She certainly belongs in race 3, and we'll take plenty of action.
I've got 9, 8, 10, and 7. You've got?
I've got, drum roll please, 8, 7, 10, 1.
8, 7, 10, and 1 in race number 3. We'll move on to race number 4. We're going a one-turn mile on the main track. It's a first-level allowance race for fillies and mares. Field of 8. This is the first leg of our 20-cent Chesapeake Pick 6 wager. If you are lucky enough to be the only one to select the first-place finisher in each of the final 6 races on a Laurel Park program, you get the whole jackpot, and the carryover is again creeping up, $3,662, and that is nothing to sneeze at. Let's talk about our top selection in here.
All right.
I like the 2, How Sweet She Is. So do you?
I am thoroughly confused now. 5, 1, 4, 7 for me in the 4th. Maybe I gave out picks from last week or something. I don't know.
All right.
2, 6, 5, 3. Maybe I. Let me know. Tell me in my ear, guys, if I sent in the wrong things, because I did.
Oh, that's it. Now, no.
We'll leave me blank then.
You're out. Forget you. I'll take over the rest of the show.
But the first
Come
race
on,
was good.
Fustel. Be prepared for the show.
The first race was good. I was on that one. All right, race 2, How Sweet She Is. Yeah, I liked the race last time out. And again, it's a really good horse. Horse who ended up winning a 2 other than recently at Parks.
Yeah.
Tough internal fractions.
Absolutely.
Battling it out tooth and nail just to give up a little bit late. This horse, she's tactical enough, because you're going to have horses. I think Red Hat Hannah does her best work on the front end. Cluck Cluck going to be forward enough. And boy, she really relished the mile. We're going to check that one out next. But I think this horse can sit.
This horse has shown that she can sit. She did so in her last 2 fast-track races right here at Laurel Park. She won both of those races from off the pace. And you're right, she was very aggressively ridden last time out at Parks. The first quarter was 23.90. She really never got a breather through a second quarter in 23.57. She still made a clear lead on the turn, got bumped by the winner, who was, odds on that day, and stayed on very strongly for second. You get Ness, you get Rodriguez. There are things to like. There are also things to like about Cluck Cluck, mainly that she is in great form right now for Claudio Gonzalez. 2 for 3 since being claimed, including this race last time out. They finally stretched her out to a one-turn mile. She loved it.
Absolutely loved it. It's going to prompt and going to go ahead and be Dazzy, who's, I believe, below even money in this race. Whew. Big jump up in the Buyers, go up 16 points and relax. And went through, these are pretty honest enough fractions. Look at the second quarter. Okay, into that 47-2, 12-3, and just kind of rolls away here to mid-stretch. Not even really set down until past the 5/16 pole. She responds beautifully. Right back here in the open. Other than, I think she sets up shop, stalking Red Hat Hannah.
When Yedzit looks at the infield tote board, this horse hops back to her left lead. I don't really take too much mind to that. But this horse is just in great form and can get close to the pace because the pace doesn't figure to be very fast. Mischief in Motion is a horse we both have in the mix, very lightly raced. And this is another horse. If you just look at those fractions at Pimlico last time out, 24.22 first quarter, 24.09 second quarter, 24.72 third quarter, and then on a hard chase going after the winner on the turn. Got by, looked like she was on her way to victory, and she just couldn't seal the deal. Maybe feeling the effects of the short layoff. Blinkers on might help her focus.
Yeah, maybe a little focus, just wait a little bit. But she ran game, and it was a really good effort down at Tampa the time before that. Second off, a little bit of a break. Yeah, facing older for the first time. Highly competitive group here in race number 4. It's one of these races where I'd say look for your best value. Wait, sit it out. There's not much separating these horses.
And I know Dave likes our 4th pick. That's the 3 Red Hot Hannah, who could be loose on the lead in here. She did get loose last time out over a muddy track at Laurel Park, and she was just in against a very strong runner. Stop the Cap came out of that race to hit the board in her next 4 starts with a best buyer speed figure of 76. If she gets loose on the lead and they leave her alone, Cal Lynch can win off layoffs, and Red Hot Hannah should show that fresh speed. But how sweet she is. We want to see rating tactics this time around. 2-6-5-3 for Keith, 2-5-6-3 for me in race number 4. We're 4 down. We're 5 to go here on a Belmont Stakes Saturday at Laurel Park, and we'll be back after this break. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. 4 down, 5 to go. Here's the field for race number 5. 5.5 furlongs on the weeds. We're going a first-level allowance race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Take out the 10, dub off, and this is the first leg of our second of 2 value pick 5 wagers. Low, 12% takeout with a 50-cent minimum bet. And our friend and colleague Mackenzie Pfeiffer has a ticket for us.
You're Dan. I'm thoroughly confused. No, let's go here for this 12% late value pick 5. I know somebody that's not confused, and that's Mackenzie Pfeiffer. She is tied on today. Going to give out a late pick 5 for you. 189 Milliot, Lil Regard, and Lily Simone. I like that little value shot for Jose Magana. She's encountered some trouble. There's Berkeley Kern. Race number 6 with the 3, 6, and 7. First time starter there for Greg Sacco. Opportunity Woo. Race 7, 2 and a 5. Cakes Arrow, St. John's. They look like the 2 in there to me. Single. She's going to single New King. A little class relief for this one. In the 8th race, scratch out the 2, the Wolfman, and the 5. Call me any. 2 of the main speeds are out of race number 8. Wrapping things up, 3, 6, 7, 11 in race number 9. 5.5 on the turf for the maiden claimers. That is a doozy of a finale. $36 late value pick 5.
I gave her a little bit of guff with her pick 5 ticket yesterday. This one gets the Dan Ullman seal of approval for what it's worth, and it's worth nothing. Race number 5, we're going to start things off with the number 8, Little Regard. This video replay we're going to show you, this is a very impressive performance for a first-time starter going 5.5 furlongs.
Top side, these in Still Regards are doing well on the turf, and this race confidently handled. No panic whatsoever from Sheldon Russell for this first-time starter. You get 9-2 at Club Colonial with Brittany Russell. Look at this response, though, Dan. Talk us through this the last 3/16 of a mile.
This horse just explodes. And, again, you rarely see first-time starters with this sense of professionalism, able to show the agility to split horses. Just look at this last 100 yards. Just going away at the end of this race and gallops out by 10. Now, the issue with Little Regard is this. We haven't seen her since that race. She was entered and scratched on October the 26th, and I think Brittany did the right thing. You've got a talented horse. Maybe there's an issue or two here, and you give her plenty of time off. That race looks legitimate from a figure standpoint. Don't be fooled by the low 56 buyer. That's a 56 buyer earned by a 2-year-old in August. The third place finisher came back and placed at Delaware with a 61 buyer in a special weight.
Yeah, lightly steadied at the break when going back and watching that rerun as well. She, like I say, no panic whatsoever from Sheldon Russell. Fifth place finisher out of there was a Grand Motion runner who'd won a couple optional allowance races after that. So the field was good enough. As you said, 2-year-old, that kind of fig, every right to move up. Some of the speed does come out with the scratch of the 10, but I think there's other flow in here that's going to set things up nicely for a horse like the 8, Lil Regard. Let's go to our next video spotlight. The 4, Tap It Up for James Ryerson. This is a mare that likes Laurel's turf course.
This horse really likes Laurel's turf course, and in this race, this horse just is settling very nicely in behind and just is waiting for a chance to make the move, and does make a move. This is a powerful late kick, and what I did like, it was a first start off of a lengthy layup, but very comfortably handled, turning for home. Just look at the rider.
Yeah. This is good. Watch Me Disappear goes ahead and clears, and then really set down. This is a good finish.
Strong finish from Tap It Up. A really nice performance. And this horse ran at Monmouth Park off this effort, and I thought ran well again. Didn't break well, had to work an inside-out trip, altering course to the far outside, and was running on late in a race where the pace held up. Tap It Up was really one of the only true closers making up late ground. This horse is in very good form, and Jimmy Ryerson's an excellent trainer shipping in from out of town. I think you have to respect Tap It Up. From a pace presence, however, I do think the 2, no question about it, is helped by the scratch of the 10. This horse can be a little bit of a grouch behind the gate, but finished ahead of 3 of these horses in her start at Pimlico last time out, a race where she set a pretty decent opening quarter mile, considering that turf course was a little bit wet, and stayed on for second after being late to change leads. I'm hoping she's still learning the game, and I'm hoping Michael Sanchez can give her a bit of a breather the opening quarter.
I think that's going to be the key to get her to the second wire. We saw some horses come close a little bit further than what I thought yesterday, go on the 5.5, but like the tenacity she's shown last time. That was the gutsiest try that she's shown in her page. Young career, only 4 starts, eligible to move up. Milliot, hasn't been seen since September. Second time in the barn for Elizabeth Merriman. That was a good field and ran a pretty strong race, working through a little bit of traffic.
That was a very strong race. One of the also-rans came right back to win with a 78 buyer speed figure and a $45,000 non-winners, a 2-life claimer. And Milliot faced 3 next-out winners in that race. She just didn't break from the inside post, and she drew inside again. Maybe that's somewhat of a concern, but she started making a run on the inside on the turn, gradually eased to the outside, finished up nice in between horses. I'm expecting a big kick. And 266-day layoff, I'm really not too worried about it with turf horses, and I'm really not too worried about it with Lizzie Merriman. I know the trainer stat doesn't, say it right there at DRF. She does a good job getting horses fresh off the bench.
She does. I think this horse is going to work a good inside-out trip. Watch Me Disappear is a horse I thought would run better. I chased that one last time at a big number. Baby blocks with some speed. But let's get to Lily Simone. This is a horse that owes me no money. I've kind of been able to put her in certain spots, exactas, tries, and supers, and get some nice hits along the way. But she's been compromised the last couple races.
Well, that's the thing with her. She's the kind of horse that finds trouble. She got pinched badly at the start, as you mentioned in the short comment last time out at Pimlico. 2 starts back, she just got bumped very hard leaving the gate in her first start off the layoff. If you go back to that race on October the 25th, I think that's the most representative performance for her, where she's rallying on hard for second behind Apropos, who took some money. She doesn't have a ton of speed. Horses like that need racing luck. They need pace luck. I'm not sure either's there for her here.
No, I prefer her over this surface. Other than Pimlico's, just for the way things, it's a little bit bigger. She can kind of maybe catch her breath a little bit, let things develop up front. She's going to have an opportunity to do that today, maybe swing outside top of the stretch and just try to bring one run from the 3/16 pole to the wire. But I think she's a user. Yeah, you're gonna get double-digit odds on her.
8, 1, 4, and 9 for Keith, 2, 1, 4, 7 for me in the first leg of our late value pick 5. Race number 6 is at 7/8 of a mile. It's a maiden special weight for 3-year-olds. Take out the number 9, Decorum. This is the first leg of our final 50-cent pick 4 of the afternoon. Races 6 through 9 with a 50-cent minimum wager. It is also the Jackpot Super High 5 race, a $1 minimum bet, 15% takeout. Carryover's getting there, $4,687. And again, classic Super High 5 race, 11 horse fields, first-time starters. You hit this, you might be the only one.
I do think your top selection, I'm going to let you talk about him in a second. Drill Baby looks to be the horse to beat. I'll take a little flyer on the 12. I'm reaching here a little bit, Artist Mark. Turf to dirt angle. You know, it's done okay for Hammy. But overall, the last couple of years with the maids, and maybe not so good. But I just look at this horse. He starts his career last summer at Timonium. Trouble, finished up okay, going to half. Comes back off the break. Runs against Change My World. Summer in the Country, decent enough field, Alias, and in front of Sure Meant to Me. That finish there was good enough. That horse has moved up and run well. Then goes to Colonial, catches a speed track where you really have a lot of trouble making up.
And look who he was in against.
Yeah, Verifier, who came back. That's the $1 million Brad Cox runner. So put an X through the turf race. We're out to 7/8 of a mile. I think he's got sneaky enough tactical speed to loom a presence in here if you're looking for a little bit of value. I think it could be the 12 artists. Mark 12, 6, 3, 11. We're getting closer.
You really, I think, laid it out very, very well. This horse is the classic example of a horse with dirtied up form, and I think the Hammy Smith barn's going to start heating up. We saw that first-time starter the other day win. I think Artist Mark is well-placed and is going to be a very, very good price. Yeah. Drill Baby is the horse to beat. I just wonder if maybe the distance was too much for Drill Baby at this point last time out. He got wired by an odds-on favorite named Varney. He kind of tracked inside. He tried to make a move on the second turn. He was very tired at the end. I like horses cutting back to 7 furlongs. Greg Compton is a very underrated trainer. He's had 3 winners out of town since May the 22nd, and I think Drill Baby has enough positional speed to stay close to the pace.
And I think that was, except for the Verifier, when you're talking about that one, that group in some of those races down at Oaklawn, he set up to run his best race today, I think, at the 7/8 of a mile. I think it's going to hit him right in the head. He's the horse to beat. To me, Rhythm and Blues. We'll talk about that one. Yeah, ran against Cadeau Jargent last time out, and we saw him come back. Here's a stat for Sabelli.
Jane Sabelli, second after layoffs of 4 months or greater on the dirt, 25%, a $2.11 return on investment. Rhythm and Blues not only face Cadeau D'Argent, who has a very nice, promising prospect for Niall Saville, who got the job done here yesterday, but that was just a very quick internal fraction, 23.02. Rhythm and Blues off the layoff, had to deal with that. Didn't change leads in the stretch. That bothers me, but I just think this horse is learning. There's something here. I think this horse will improve with that last race under the girth. And one of the keys to this race is the number 11 Pediatrician. We have a video spotlight of this horse's career debut where he ran against a very hot BTR first-time starter. Pediatrician showed good speed, showed no quit, and took some money for this barn at 12-1.
Oh, yeah, and ended up running into, well, that was the BTR first, or it might have been a Rapoli runner, but this was a good effort. Goes ahead, makes the challenge, and really guts it out. I thought through the last 3/16 of a mile. It was a little odd spot, I thought, last time, going down the Churchill Downs, catching another sloppy sealed surface, but speed's going to play in here against this group. And Pediatrician, this was a very encouraging debut.
Very encouraging debut. The horse is yet to set foot on a fast track, and maybe that's all Pediatrician's feet are waiting for. Snowy Knight is the number 2. This is a full brother to Ronan Goddess, so there is a little bit of pedigree here and should be a big price for Amanda Rawlings. Opportunity Woo, the 7, is a first-time starter. A half to Brittany's Prado Road, who is a stakes place dirt sprinter with an 88 buyer. So there are plenty of options in this race.
And one little note for Rhythm and Blues, a stat that I also dug up. If you're on the Sabelli bandwagon here, last 3 years on the dirt, 5 for 14, 36%, second time Lasix, 533 ROI for that stat for Sabelli. So 12, 6, 3, 11 for me in the 6. Kind of wide open. We're taking a shot with Hammy.
And 6358 for me, but I do like your top selection. Have to use that horse in multiple race wagers. Let's take a look at one of our main feature races today. That's race number 7. We're going to the turf. It's a mile and a 16th, 3 and up, which have ever won 2 races other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or the claiming price 40 down to 32. Let's take out the MTO, the number 9, Stroncino. All right, race number 7. Let's start with St. John's. I believe we have a video spotlight for St. John's to highlight. Take it away.
Yeah, we're going to go back to November, early November, November 2nd, and drew the 11 post. Not the easiest thing to do, but makes a steady progression, 3/8 pole into the lane. I would have liked to seen a little bit more finish, but that post could have been just enough. Good field there. Won an award. F35 has come back to, he blitzed a field of 2 other than horses, similar group as today. Now we've got the Jack Fisher, we've got the Forest Boys combination. We're going to run you a little stat. This horse coming off the jumps, off the jumps last time out. We saw it work with Mission North. But how about this little stat over the last 5 years? 5 for 13, 38%, 9 for 13 in the money. Jack Fisher, Forest Boys combo, and these Laurel turf allowances.
Now, this horse certainly fits. I'm sure Mac will give us some more information about St. John's this winter, because I think this horse ran at a point-to-point on March 30th. Before that jump race, should be fit and ready to go. And listen, we don't worry about horses turning back a mile for this barn off a hurdle race. They've done it time and time again. And St. John's, in many ways, is one of the horses to beat. Now, the horse perhaps to beat is Cake's Arrow, and that is the 2, because Cake's Arrow's recent starts on turf have been very impressive. We have a trainer stat for Jamie Ness to show you. Last out winner, second off the claim, 5 for the last 11, 45%, $2.44 ROI. Cake's Arrow got a really nice ride from Jamie Rodriguez last time out. The pace was not fast. When you allow Cake's Arrow to go 49-1 on the lead, he's supposed to hurt you, and he threw a third quarter at him in 23-3, and that was all she wrote. Cake's Arrow really look good sprinting in the stretch. I wonder if a horse like Goodbye Note is going to try to show some speed from the inside. If so, Cake's Arrow at least has shown the ability to rate and finish.
Yeah, and he has. He has shown that. He's super sharp right now. I'm depending on Goodbye Note going. Other than that, who else?
Nobody.
Maybe Crossland in the past has shown a little bit of lick, but I don't think they want to use him and going up and pressing Cake's Arrow. So I am going to need the inside horse. Come on, Georgie, go ahead and send.
The 11 Lantharis comes in for Team Valor. First time Michael Trombetta, first time listed as a gelding. This horse has taken on some good competition down at Gulfstream Park. The winner of that last race, Corruption, came back to run second in the Grade 3 Pan Am there with a 96 buyer, then won a second level allowance at Churchill with a 96 buyer. The question for me is this distance actually going to be a little bit sharp for Lantharis, who has spent the majority of his career going longer?
How will he adjust to this big turn back, right? Get first time gelding. That angle, and I look for Tromby runners, I think it was last week. It wasn't the strongest stat either. I was a little bit surprised. It was like a 1 for 15. It was not really encouraging, but you're just looking at basically take a quick glance at the buyer figures. Certainly the 11 looks like he's got to be there, but that's a big turn back in distance. I have a little bit more faith in a horse like St. John's and Cake's Arrow.
Cake's Arrow and is going to be on the lead. My top pick, St. John's, be kicking late to 11.65 for me, 5 to 11.7 for Keith.
And the 7, real quick, Villain. I don't think you look at these races and you see Lindsey Schultz at Laurel. Pay attention. Last 5 years, maybe you're thinking on the dirt, but on the turf as well. Last 5 years on the turf at Laurel, 5 for 13, 38%, 9 for 13. Hold on. That's the wrong one. 3 for 7. And 4 for 7 in the money, 349 ROI. So either way, and going back, I think this horse has kept some pretty good company. That was a pretty salty race, 2 back down at Keeneland.
And certainly 3 back in the Saranac. So maybe a little bit dirtied up because also raced on synthetic last time out. Again, 5 to 11.7 for Keith, to 11.65 for me. In race number 7, let's move to race number 8. 6 furlong state-sired allowance. This race for 3-year-olds and up. Take out the 2, the Wolfman. Take out 5, Call Me Andy. And that actually takes out some of the speeds in this race. And that might actually help the number 4, New King, who is already the horse to beat week coming in, simply because this horse looked really good in the Frank Whiteley 2 starts back, ran some fast races out in Southern California earlier in his career, and just got hooked in a speed duel in the Knicks Go. This horse is very well entered against the Maryland State-bred Sired Allowance Company. It's just simply the horse to beat at a very short price.
You just glance real quick. How's he eligible? Oh, he is irrelevant. Oh, he's only won the one event. This guy's going to be awfully short. Bold Diversion, do you think he's going to try to go?
I think Bold Diversion's going to try to go in here, coming back off of a weak break and stretching out from 5.5 furlongs. This horse did push the pace last time out, got angled 4 wide into the stretch, second best to the favored gate-to-wire winner, and Saxton is no slouch. I just think New King's probably a better horse than Saxton is, but I do think Bold Diversion, coming back on short notice, is going to get up close to the pace. Straight to Water is a little bit interesting to me. I think these scratches hurt Straight to Water, though.
Agreed.
Because last time out, he kind of dropped back. He let Saxton do the dueling with Verifier. He was the only horse making up late ground at the end of that race. We saw Saxton come back and win a restricted allowance and off-turf race with a 79 buyer. The problem is, can Straight to Wire stay close enough? I think there's something here with this horse. He has some agility.
I do. I think he's got ability, but again, it was almost like Saxton in that race. If he just tries to go too soon Straight to Water, that could be to his downfall.
And you never want to count out a horse like Addie's Laddie TNT, who's won 9 times in his career and is tactical enough to stay close to the pace, but he is jumping up in class.
Yeah, he's jumping up. Rapidity's another one, kind of have to improve a little bit. He's run some sneaky good races. Last time out, had a little flattening after having to get through some traffic upper stretch. But, I mean, maybe he's the horse you just use as the blow-up underneath. We don't have him, but New King, he's going to end up at, about 2 to 5 when it's all said and done.
After these scratches, absolutely, and he is way the horse to beat. 4-3-7-6 for Keith. Looking to see what we can get from Straight to Water, but these scratches do hurt. 7-3-6-4. The finale's at 5.5 furlongs. It is a maiden claiming race on the turf. 16,000 down to 12.5. Take out the 12, the 14, the 16. Matilda Burnham rides the 15. Salvo Trigger. This is a wide open race. I like where you're going. The number 3, All Fruits Ripe, in a race where you have several horses trying turf for the first time, several horses coming off layoffs. This horse is at least showing some recency.
Yeah, I thought Gordito ran okay yesterday. El Fuegos, Maspriante. Those horses have come back to run credible numbers from a buyer speed figure standpoint. 65 and 59. Those kind of numbers is lower 50 is probably going to win this race at 5.5. What I noticed last time, and I didn't have this originally on my picks, I went back again. That was first turf with the blinkers off. This horse held much better than what I thought, and I think it's more suited making one run from off of it here in a sprint. There's some questionable speed. Tice Verner's Junction, the 15 drawing in, I think is an interesting sort with some pretty good speed here for Bobby Leaf.
Salvo Trigger certainly showed speed in the turf debut off the layoff and just simply might have needed the race going 5. I wonder if Hot on Your Heels is going to be the speed of the speed. That's where I'm going, the number 11. But this is one of those horses returning off of a lengthy layoff. 2 starts back on turf. This horse was pressing the pace while down on the inside, very late to change leads, and then was brushed when tiring along the inside. Last 2 turf races broke from the rail. I like this horse better on the outside, where if someone else inside wants to go, Hot on Your Heels can track outside. If not, Hot on Your Heels can make the lead. But demand value on anybody in this race. Let's talk about Furious George.
Yeah,
we have a trainer stat in this race.
And we know this guy a little bit.
I know this guy. Route to sprint.
I think. Yeah, look at this.
For the last 40, 20%, 246 ROI. I think this horse is better than he looks on paper. Last time out going a mile on the turf, I thought he was going to be the main speed in this race, and Furious George broke on top, and I don't mind what Angel did. He took this horse back into the pocket. The problem was the pace was slow. The race was won by a gate-to-wire winner. Furious George turning back to 5.5, I think, is positional enough to stay within range when they turn for home. And then when they turn for home, listen, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, what you said was just right. You took the words right out of my mouth. Things got slowed up on the front end, and that was it. He just couldn't muster up that kind of response. Similar type of tactics with a little bit more questionable speed and a faster flow, probably a contested pace in here. I think it's going to really be to his liking for Furious George, the 6, and you're going to get an okay number on him.
You got Rock Bullet in this race as well, coming off a layoff for Anthony Farrier. This horse turning back in distance. I just wonder, is 5.5 too sharp? I mean, after 18 tries, you want to try something new maybe.
Yeah, this just might be the field, though. He steadily has better buyer speed figures on the turf going longer. A little bit like Roller Coaster Man But I think he has a little bit stronger chance maybe today.
Wide open race to close
tough.
things out. 3-7-6-15 for Keith, 11-6-15-3 for me in race number 9 at Laurel Park. Top play time. Where are you going?
Going back to my alma mater, St. John's up there in Westminster. Race number 7, number 5. St. John's had a 3-1 morning line. We talked about the stat. Boyce, Fisher, Laurel, turf allowances. It's really, really good. I just need a little bit of help. Your top selection there, Cake Sarah, could just be too good on the front if he gets to walk the dog again. But I think this position, moving inside, we showed you the video spotlight, that horse with the 11 post that day against a pretty good field. I don't think Forrest Boyce is going to let Cake Sarah get too far away by the time they turn for home.
I think the scratch in my race with my best play is going to help my best play. That's going to be race number 5, number 2. No question about it. 8-1 on the morning line. This horse does have some speed. Kind of went quick last time out. May not have to go as fast here. This horse is still learning. I want him to change leads a little bit better this time around, but I'll take him a chance if he's close to that price. 21 minutes to go for race number 1. It's a 9-race card here on Belmont Stakes Day Saturday at Saratoga. The main track is fast. The turf is Fern. Callie Francois, Mackenzie Pfeiffer, and Dave Rodman will take you through the afternoon's action. Let's go up to the voice of Maryland Racing, Dave Rodman, for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Laurel Park. Main track fast, turf is firm. 20 minutes to post time. 9 races on the card today. Temperature in the 70s, winds out of the northwest at about 10 miles per hour. Under partly cloudy skies. Here's a look at your Laurel Park changes. In the first race, 5 for the love of run, 3 over. Scratch 11, Christmas Spirit. Scratch the 11, main track only runner. Second race. Scratch 4, Heat Check. Number 6, Baby Bobby, 2 over. Scratch 7, The Rizzler's Girl. Second race. Third race. Scratch 1, A Loving Cup. 11, Hot Bottom Girl. 12, Queen of the Dance. And 13, Luella Street. Fourth race, Chesapeake Pick 6 carryover, a little more than $3,600. Number 5, Mischief in Motion is 1 over. Fifth race, 2, no question about it, 1 over. Scratch number 10, Dub Off. In the 6th, scratch number 9, Decorum. 9, Decorum out of race 6. 7th race. Scratch number 9, Stronzino. 7th race, scratch the 9. 8th race. Scratch number 2, the Wolfman. Number 3, Bold Diversion, 2 over. Scratch number 5, Call Me Andy. 8th race. 9th race. Number 8, Warrior's Notion, 2 over. Scratch number 9, Knucker Punk. 10, Moonlit Frost is 4 over. Scratch number 12, But She's Pretty. Scratch 14, Fiery Debut. 15 runs, Salvo Trigger, with jockey Matilda Burnham. On 15, Salvo Trigger. Scratch 16, Go to Bingo. 9th race. Following the 9th race, racing from San Isidro, Argentina, wager through Laurel Park. Value pick 5's early late with a 12% takeout. Chesapeake pick 6 starts at race 4, 3,662 carryover. And the 6th race, Jackpot Super High 5 wagering carryover there, 4,688 in race 6. Track fast, turf firm, 17 minutes to post time.